morning. My name is Alayna and I'm excited to guide you through a 30-minute vinyasa sequence. It is a yoga practice that is meant to link both your mind and your body. We're going to be building up some heat in the body and also working quite a bit in the hips. We'll also be on the knees a bit. So with that said, if you have the support at home, I recommend 2 yoga blocks. If you don't have it, totally fine. Though if you do have a blanket nearby, I do recommend that. That will be very supportive under your knees if you have sensitive knees or just want some additional padding or support. It's your practice, so take what you need, leave what you don't. I'm simply a guide, and I'm happy to be here with you. So with that said, we will begin in hero's pose. Hero's pose, you will sit back on your heels. I like to place a blanket underneath my knees and then just sit back on the ankles, hands rested in your lap. If you have yoga blocks, you're also welcome to place a block underneath your seat. So what that would look like is just keep your knees together, spread the ankles apart, and then place the block underneath the ankle or underneath the seat like this. So get settled here. And as you're comfortable, begin to bring your eyes either to a soft gaze or completely close them. Do what feels safe within your body in this moment, in this time that we have here together. Just take a moment to really link to your breath. It can be easy for the mind to wander when you're in quite a still state. And so I encourage you to just allow this 30 minutes to be for you. Whatever time of day you're watching this, just allow it to be completely and solely for you. Without changing any thoughts, acknowledge anything that's coming to mind, whether it's related to your mental or physical state, or if it has to do with your day, or maybe some things that were yesterday, the days before, things coming up later today or tomorrow. Acknowledge them for a moment, and then just let them drift away, paying attention to your breath, deepening your inhales, and lengthening your exhales. I'll invite you to place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Begin to exhale all the air from your lungs first. On your next inhale, breathe into your belly, pressing your hand. And breathe into your chest, and exhale through the chest and out of the belly. Breathe into your hand through your belly, and then your chest. Exhale the chest and out of the belly. Breathe in through the belly and the chest. Exhale out of the chest and the belly. Place your hands in your lap, returning to a natural breath. Something that feels safe, that isn't too rushed, but is completely calm and inviting for you. Begin to gently open the eyes, letting on some sunlight. We'll start to just warm up the body a little bit, starting with some neck rolls. Begin by bringing your chin towards your chest for this nice stretch in the back of the neck, the cervical spine. Tilt your right ear towards your right shoulder. Take the back of your head towards the back of the room. Stretch through the front of the throat. Left ear goes to left shoulder. Meeting back where we started, chin tucked towards your chest. We'll take this to the other side. Left ear comes to left shoulder. Head goes to the back of the room. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin tucks towards the chest. Meeting back at center. Looking forward, chin is parallel to the ground. With an inhale, lift the hands overhead. And exhale, twist to the right. Hands or fingertips plant, looking over your right shoulder. With an inhale, we rise. Exhale, twist to the left, peeping over your left shoulder. Inhale to rise. Exhale, twist to the right. Maybe you deepen the stretch a bit more. Inhale to rise. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to rise. Twist once more to the right. Inhale to rise. Twist once more to the left. Inhale, rise. And plant your hands in your lap. We'll take a few seated cat-cows. Begin by inhaling to extend the chest towards the front of the room, peeling the shoulder blades back. For cow. And exhale, grasping onto the knees or thighs, rounding through the spine, chin tucks towards chest for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And a nice stretch towards the back and the front of the chest. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. One more inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Next inhale, come to a neutral spine. Just shimmy the shoulders a little bit, maybe the hips. And we'll take this onto the mat for just your standard cat-cows as we begin to build up more heat and all that we need in your body. You can remove any props out of the way if you'd like, but you're also welcome to keep the padding underneath your knees. I prefer to in these beginnings, so just do what feels best in your body. We'll take a few cat-cows, first meeting in a tabletop position, stacking your hips over your knees and stack your shoulders over your wrist. Head is extended towards the front of the room, looking towards the front of your mat. Mine is a little curled, but still. With an inhale, begin to dip the belly, lift the chest, looking towards the roof for cow. Exhale, push the mat away from you, round the spine, looking between your thighs, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And come to a neutral spine. Begin to place your hands, one palm print in front of the other. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Lift the hips off of the sky, or up towards the sky. And your heels come towards the mat. They don't have to be planted on the mat, just wherever you can reach your heels. Just feel this nice stretch in the back of the legs. And see if you can turn your armpits towards each other for a nice internal rotation of the elbows. It may feel good to pedal off the feet here. Just really waking up this first downward facing dog of practice. Perhaps shaking your head yes, and then no. Maybe you rock back and forth on the toes or bend into the knees. Just do what feels good, whatever your ritual is. And then we'll come to stillness. With an inhale, look forward and then slowly walk your way towards the top of your mat. Meeting in a temporary ragdoll, placing the feet a little bit wider than your shoulders. Taking a deep bend and bringing your belly to your thighs can feel quite supportive. Extending your legs will give you a deeper stretch in the back of your hamstrings. Whichever option feels good. You're welcome to keep your hands on the mat or bring your hands grasping for opposite shoulders, maybe even swaying to side, and drop your head. Beautiful. Plant your hands and bring your feet underneath your shoulders. Begin to rise halfway, placing your hands on your shins. Back is flat. So if your shoulders are kind of turned inward, see if you can turn them outward to really flatten the back. And then also shift your weight a little bit forward. It may feel like you're tipping over, but that will help you sustain this nice flat back. And exhale, drop it all down. With an inhale, hands rise, extended mountain pose. Exhale to heart center. Inhale to rise. And exhale, meeting back in a forward fold. Hands comes towards the mat. Or you're welcome to incorporate blocks if you have them, and your hands can come to blocks at any point that we go towards the ground. Inhale to halfway lift. And exhale, step back into a brief side plank. Just to hold here, really dome out through the back, pushing the mat away from you. If your heels are pointed towards the back of the room, shift them a little bit forward so that your heels are stacked over your toes. Begin to drop the knees and exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and with an inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale to lower. Scoot your hands just a palm print back. Cobra, lift your head and your chest, keeping your pelvis towards the ground. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. On your next inhale, we'll meet in a tabletop position. Know that those two back bend options you have anytime we take your chaturanga to your vinyasa. So anytime we go into a back bend, know that you can take baby cobra or cobra, or you can skip a vinyasa altogether. So meeting in this tabletop, we will meet back in a downward facing dog. Place your hands one palm print in front of the other, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and towards the sky. Inhale, look forward, make your way towards top of your mat. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we rise, extended mountain. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back into your high plank. Shift forward, bringing your ankles over your toes. Exhale to lower the knees, lower the chest and belly. Inhale into your back bend of choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll flow through this sun A once more, just to warm up the body. Inhale, make your way towards the top of your mat. Exhale to fold. Inhale, we rise, extended mountain. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, flowing through your chaturanga, which is high plank or kneeling plank. lowering to halfway or all the way to the belly. Inhale, your back bend of choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. Listen for the change here as we flow into our core sequence. With an inhale, begin to lift your right toes off of the mat. And exhale, bring your right foot between your hands. And lower your left knee towards the mat. Toes can remain tucked or untucked. This also may be a great place to have blocks if you would like to bring the floor a little bit closer to you. It can give you a nice lift. And we'll begin to just wake up this hip. Even though the right foot is forward, you may feel it a bit more in your left hip flexor. So it might feel good to just rock in and out of this low lunge. And just filling out this side. It's your first time over here, so be gentle. Beautiful. We'll meet in stillness. Your right knee is stacked over your right ankle. Take an inhale to lift the chest. And exhale, send the hips back for a half split. Your foot can remain planted on the ground, or you can pop the heel up. See which one feels good as we're still waking up the back of this leg. And shift your right hip back to square off the hips. Beautiful. We'll flow this a couple of times. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, half splits. Inhale to lunge. Exhale, half splits. Inhale to lunge. Maybe this time you float the hands off of the mat. Exhale, airplane arms. Testing your balance a little bit early. It is okay if you wobble. None of us are completely still. Exhale, back to that low lunge. Begin to power up on your back leg for low lunge. And begin to step your right foot towards the outer edge of your mat. Toes are pointed towards the right corner of the room. With an inhale, we'll step the left foot forward in the same angle. Toes are out. And exhaling to sink the hips down for Malasana. A couple of options here. You are welcome to remain here in your Malasana. If you'd like some lift in the hips, release some effort, you can place a block underneath your seat. Both options are still Malasana. Beautiful. Hands are pressed in towards each other. Elbows are pressing into the knees. Very hip opening here. Just take a moment to settle. Take an inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, we'll rise all the way to extended mountain. Bring the toes underneath the hips. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back, chaturanga, flowing from a high or kneeling plank to low plank or a low. What is this? Or come into a low plank. Inhale for your baby cobra or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg towards the sky. And exhale, step it in between your hands. And we'll lower the back right leg. And just doing the same thing on this side. Really evening out the sides. Just shifting back and forth. Filling out this hip. Especially in this right hip flexor. Excuse me. Remember to return to your breath. You can do hard things. We all can. Challenge yourself and find your edge. Take an inhale to lift the chest. And exhale, send the hips back for a half split. Pull your left hip back to square off the hips. And again on this side, your toes can remain planted or they can be flexed. See if you can identify what may feel different on this side as well. Beautiful. On your next inhale, shift the leg, shift forward into your kneeling lunge. We'll flow this a few times. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, send it back, half splits. Inhale, lunge forward. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, lunge forward. Exhale, maybe take those airplane arms on this side, palms facing the ground. Shoulders are pulling back towards one another. And inhale to low lunge. Begin to power up on your right toes and step your left toes towards the outer edge of the mat. Beautiful. With an inhale, begin to step forward. Toes are facing outward, heels are facing towards each other. And exhale, lower into your malasana. Once again. Beautiful. With an inhale, we'll rise to high, to extended mountain. Bring the toes underneath you. And exhale to lower. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa, going from a low or from high or kneeling plank all the way to the belly. Inhaling your back bend of choice. And exhale, we'll meet in a downward facing dog. We'll flow through this a bit quicker, removing repetition, and then we'll start to cool it down. With an inhale, begin to lift your right toes off of the mat. Exhale, step it through to kneeling lunge. Inhale, rise, kneeling lunge. Exhale, airplane arms, half split. Inhale, hands plant, stepping your right toes towards the outer edge of the mat, powering up on your left leg. Inhale, bring your left toes towards the left corner of your mat, and exhale to sink it to malasana. Inhale to rise, extended mountain. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back and flow through your vinyasa, going from high to low plank. Inhaling your back bend of choice. Exhale, we meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful. With an inhale, left toes lift towards the sky. Exhale, your foot plants between your hands, lower the back right leg. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, airplane arms. Inhale, hands plant. Begin to bring your left toes towards the outer edge of the mat, powering up on your back toes. Inhale, step your right foot towards the outer edge of the mat, toes pointing towards the right corner. And exhale, sink it down into malasana. Inhale, rise, extended mountain, maybe put a smile on your face. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step it back into high plank, and then bring it down into a child's pose. Begin to bring the knees out wide, big toes touch. Sink the hips back towards the heels, extend the hands out wide, and bring your forehead towards the mat. Take a few deep breaths here. You've done so much work, and I'm so proud of you. Great job. Wonderful. Next inhale, we'll meet on your seat to cool off the body. We'll take a half butterfly on both sides. First by bringing your left foot out towards the left corner of the mat. Right foot comes to the inner left thigh. So then inhale, we'll rise. Begin to point your torso towards your left leg, and exhale, fold over the left leg. Inhale to rise. Just place your hands just somewhere in front of you, and then we'll swap it out. Right leg goes out, left foot comes into right thigh. Begin to rise with an inhale, face your torso towards your right leg. Exhale to fold over. Beautiful. Inhale to rise. And we'll come onto our backs. Feel free to take a blanket with you or any support that you may need. Beautiful. And just windshield wiper the legs, bringing your feet towards the outer edges of the mat, going towards the right and the left. Done a lot of hip opening. And then come to stillness. Begin to extend your legs long on the mat. Hands can rest either on your belly or by your sides. Shavasana. Close your eyes. Take a moment to rest here. And I'll be here to guide you back into the real world when the time is right. Begin to deepen your breath. Make subtle movements such as rubbing your fingertips together, wiggling the toes, rolling through the wrist and the ankles. Perhaps taking a big good morning stretch, reaching your hands towards the back of the room, your toes towards the front. And then begin to make your way up into a seat, however is safe for you and your body, perhaps rolling to one side, pushing up, and meeting in an easy seat with your legs crossed out in front of you. Beautiful work today. Begin to place your hands in your lap and give yourself a compliment for doing all of the fun stuff, all of maybe the hard stuff. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. One more inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Bring your hands either to heart center or place over your heart. Thank you so much for joining me in practice today. I'm so happy that you exist, and I'm so happy that we exist together in such a time as this. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have such a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. Thanks, friends. I hope you have a wonderful day. Watch out for more yoga with me in the future. Check for the schedule, and I'll see you next time. Bye.